As workplaces swelter, key areas of the economy are at breaking point, with huge swathes of the population being forced into isolation by the NHS COVID Act. Creative Nature sells superfood snacks to a global market, and they're worried about the next few weeks.
I do feel this is quite hard on businesses in general, because how are they going to control it? How are we going to move forward with it? Is it just going to be constant? It's going to be a ping and then a week later another ping.
The PINGDEMIC, as it's been called, is a double whammy for many sectors of the economy. Ports are now experiencing significant levels of staff absence, as high as 10% in some places. The knock-on for supply chains is enormous. And high street giants are also suffering, with some warning stores may have to close early.
Everybody, flags in the air!
It could turn into a long, hot, febrile summer. Frontline health workers will be exempt from self-isolation in exceptional circumstances. But many nurses are furious at the government's handling of this crisis.
Why are we not being protected as a workforce? Why are we not being protected to ensure patient safety? Why do we have to go to work and put others at risk willingly because our government is telling us to do it? I think it's absolutely abhorrent.
There is significant frustration amongst many businesses, struggling anyway to make ends meet. The calls to make the app less sensitive have been dismissed by the authorities. The problem the government has is balancing the opening of the economy, Freedom Day, with a pandemic that is still raging. It's why Boris Johnson says that test, trace and isolate is still an essential part of the country's response. In fact, because of the political choices that have been made, it's one of the few levers left to pull in the face of a rapidly rising infection rate. The government has ruled out a critical jobs list. Instead, employers will have to apply for an exemption from isolation, but only for workers who've been fully vaccinated. At this food packaging plant, where they're struggling to recruit enough staff, the dreaded ping and its bureaucracy is another thing to contend with.
It sounds like this could be a real admin burden for us to try and figure out who's been vaccinated, who's allowed back, who's not, and then to apply on a case-by-case basis.
Britain is now not only dealing with the pandemic, it's also in the grip of a pingdemic. This week was supposed to be about getting things back to normal, but despite what the government says, the road to freedom looks far from clear. Alex Rossi, Sky News, Surrey.